Hi, I'm Ellie Rowland, and this is Lunar Soul Tarot, and today we are going to be looking at the pages. So, and a quick word, and I have spoken about this in the lesson about the different archetypes for the court cards, but I will mention it again. And the archetypes for the court cards are originally gender specific, and so a page will be a boy, a knight or a prince would be a young gentleman, and the queen is a woman, and the king is a man. Well, as Ray Davies said, it's a mixed up, shook up world, and sort of the decks from the latter part of the 20th century and in the 21st century now, some of those gender roles get changed. Okay, so in some decks you may have a princess and a prince for your page and your knight, or you might even have a female knight. So the roles or the genders for the roles can change, and in that case then also quite often the actual title will change. But in general, the energy still remains the same. So let's have a look at how those energies work. So the Suit of Swords, and let me find our, here we go. Here's our Page of Swords. This is, I can't remember, this is quite an old deck, so I can't remember who it's by, but I like it because the graphics are nice and clear. And so we have our young person holding their sword, and they're not actually doing anything with it, they're just sort of standing there, sort of holding it, if you like. So they're not desperately active, so there's a slightly passive element to this card. And also because it's a page, it's youthful energy. So we have the element of air from the swords with the element of earth, because a page is the element of earth. So you have air with earth. And that is, so you have wit married with practicality, if you like, or married with the sort of basic resourcefulness. With the swords, because you're talking about intelligence, you're quite often talking about a young person who's got the gift of the gab, basically a sort of quick brain, but also a well-defined, educated brain. So in the upright or in the highest form, as such, it is a young person or an immature person, perhaps, who is a quick thinker and will give you quick sort of ideas, solutions, and quite often quick-mouthed as well. In the lowest form, and some people will use the reversed image, so that's reversed. I tend not to use reversed cards, but I just think of it in forms of higher energy and lower energy. So in the lower energy, you're thinking about a sort of less positive, so a more offensive form of verbalization, and more objective ideas. So they're ideas which are not quite so constructive or helpful. So that is our young person in the sword set. So moving on, we then have the suit of wands, and here we have our page of wands from the same deck, and his wand is as a sort of club or a baton. And it's rather sort of, it's not a staff as such or a rod. It's like a sort of mini caber, really, isn't it? So it's fire with earth, because the page is also the element of earth. So it's fire in its most basic form, or its most earthly form, if you like. And so it brings it down to quite a sort of practical level for wands. So it's practical creativity. It's, I suppose to a degree, it's the beginning of the apprenticeship, of a creative apprenticeship, because it's a character with the basic potential and skills of the creative element of fire, but without any sort of wisdom or knowledge. And the next one is our suit of cups. And let me just find him. There he is. Very romantic looking young man, holding his cup aloft. Or maybe he's just gone on a pub crawl, I'm not sure. But there we go. So it's water. The element of the cups, of course, is water. And the element of the page is earth. So it's water with earth. And what I can think of at the moment is a muddy puddle. But it's that nurture, or the sort of love, but in a very, very basic and immature way. So it's a person who's possibly a bit soppy, to be quite honest, and a bit sort of overly romantic in their ideas. But that's what you'd expect from a sort of immature or prepubescent person. So a little bit, there's a certain amount of spirituality there, but it's all a bit mud pie-ish, really. So a very sweet individual, but possibly a little bit daft, or a little bit timid, perhaps. So, and our final one is, let's not get the same one up again, is our page of discs or pentacles. And here we have a young person holding up the pentacle. so there is a certain element of he's holding it up like a sort of small football, really, isn't he? So he has the earthly or the practical skills and access to resources and materials, and again I sort of kind of think about novices and sort of young persons who are banking on a sort of path towards very sort of steady careers. So a novice maybe in banking or horticulture or anything that's connected to the land, or so it is that kind of gift, if you like, but in the character of a person. I kind of sort of think of somebody leaning up against a fence, chewing a bit of grass or something, and sort of getting their gumboots on, getting ready to sort of dig a trench, or on a slightly higher level, sort of working with resources. So that's our page of Pentacles. So I hope this has been of interest and of use to you. We'll be doing short videos on the other court cards as well, so do have a look at those, and use your notebook and journal for your own benefit. So because the more understanding you get and the more knowledge you build, the better, the more skill you will have as a reader. So practice, and listen. So not to old fools like me, listen to yourself as well. Listen to what comes into your head, or what images come to or pick up on images that come into your head. And as I say, sometimes I will get a flash of an image, or like I've just spoken about, a young boy leaning up a fence in gumboots, chewing a bit of grass, ready to get his spade out. Or sometimes it's a song or a phrase or a poem will come into your head when you look at particular cards, and that will help you with your reading. So keep at it. Well done. And don't forget, if you've got any questions or want to leave me any comments, do that under the video in the comments area. If you enjoyed this, if you benefited from it, please like, subscribe, and if you want to share. Thank you so much. This is Ali Rowland, checking out from Lunar Tarot, and thank you and goodbye for now.